Hello, today we are going to solve the problem of the day from LeetCode. In this problem, it's similar to the problem from yesterday. We have like a calendar, but this times the events we can allow overlapping between events once, but not triple booking. We can allow double booking in some non-empty interception, but we cannot allow triple booking. And yeah, it's basically they are giving us a list of times with a start and end time, and we need to schedule these events in a calendar. But like we should follow this rule that we could have like some interval of time with double events happening at the same time, but not with three. Okay, then in this case, probably you can find in the tutorial that it could be solved in a more simpler way. But in my solution, I have tried to optimize some cases, and for that reason, it's a bit longer. Yeah, but let's go through it, and I'm going to explain as much as possible each step. Okay, first I have created two helper functions. The first function will solve the problem of, imagine that you have a first interval and then a second interval, and this function will return a list of intervals, but in this list of intervals we will have like a start time, end time, and 0 if this interval only belongs to first interval, and we're going to have 1 if this interval belongs to both intervals. And yeah, also this amount of intervals will be like, if we group all of these intervals, we will have the first interval. For instance, let me give you an example. Imagine that the first interval is 3 to 9 and the second interval is 4 to 12. Then the answer will be like 3, 4 with 0, because between 3 and 4 there is no, only the first interval has some part in it. Then we will have 4 to 9, but in this part we're going to have both intervals, and yeah, that will be the output. Let's call it to this function also. I am using pairs to facilitate some destructuring. And then I have, well, let's implement this before to continue. To implement this, the idea is creating the amount of, let's say, finding the amount of possible intervals and then check if they belong to both events, let's say, or if they only belong to a single to the first event, and according to that generating the answer. But to generate the intervals, first we need to have like the end and beginning of the both events sorted. For that reason, we're going to use a set. Then Then you are going to create the answer. The answer will have this form. Then we will start checking. We will use iterators over the all times set. Then we're going to check if is in first even. Let's put only letter E for even. And to check this, we need to use first even dot first, because first will be the start time of the event, obviously. And then the same for the second event. Then we are going to check if is in first event, and then we're going to insert accordingly to the answer. If no. Then we will have answer dot pushback start and 1, because in this occasion both events are overlapping, and 0 here because the events are not overlapping. Only we will have the first event. Okay, then we need to return, well, we need to increase our iterator and also update now start will be equal to end. Then we're going to return the answer. Okay, we have already our first helper implemented. Then for our second helper basically will update the calendar. We're going to use again, as of the video of yesterday, a map to track to have the information of our calendar. Then our second helper will update the calendar under the following conditions. Basically, it will receive a new event and events overlapping with new event. In this way, and now it will be more clear why I have stored the information in this way. Because 0 means that only this interval is booked once, and 1 means that this interval is booked twice. And basically this method that will update the calendar will receive like a new event and also a list of events overlapping this new event, but only with single booking. And we'll update our calendar for these events with single booking to be double booked, and for the intervals without booking to be single booked. This will be the responsibility of our new function. And yeah, let's go to the implementation. Yeah, that's a better name. And then first we will generate new intervals using or basically we need to find the intercepts of the events with the new event to generate more tiny let's say intervals in which we can track accordingly if they are single or double booked. Let's obtain the intercepts, but we are going to store these intercepts only to have more clear in this vector, because we can do also without this data structure, but it will be a bit complicated to explain. Let's call it granular intervals. And yeah, let's start generating these ones. Auto event overlapping events intercept between the new event and the event. Also, we are going to store each of these new intercepts. This is a list of intercepts. We need to store each intercept into our granular intervals vector. Then we need to obtain the length. We're going to use it for that reason. It's better to have it as variable. Then we are also basically the other condition that we need to check is that our granular intervals should include completely our new event. For that reason, if the new event started before the first granular interval event, that means that we need to update our calendar to create a new sub-event, let's say. Then we can start already with the granular intervals, because yeah, we already started with them. yeah, we need to continue updating the calendar. Basically, I started with the 0 independently, because then we only need to compare like the starting time of the end time of the previous granular interval with the starting time of the new granular interval. We also need to store this granular interval. And also, if the beginning of the new granular interval it's higher than the ending of the previous interval, then we need to create a new interval that will be single bucket. Let's create a variable to handle this better, otherwise will be a bit complicated. Let's create also a variable for this. In this way, I think that it's more clear what I am doing. Basically, I am filling in the blanks. And then I need to check, like here I check that the beginning of the granular intervals match the beginning of the new event. I need to do the same for the ending. New event. Okay, then we are done with this method, and then we are going to start with the final method. Okay, now again a bit more of let's say optimization, because at the end this is like the easiest way is doing linear and not trying to optimize very much, because at the end the complexity will depend on the input data, and in the worst case also it will be ODN for my implementation and also for the one that is explained in the editorial. But let's go through it. Okay, we're going to start with a flag that is called possible, that again, if to check if it's possible to add this event to the calendar. Then again, we're going to reuse the lower bound idea from the video of yesterday, that basically is using this lower bound to check what is the previous event. And if there is no previous event, then our new event can be added to the calendar. You can get more details about that in the video from yesterday. Let's check if there is no previous event. Then we know that we can insert the new event with a single bucket interval. And if not, we need to do more logic. We are going to obtain the previous event iterator. Then we are going to store our overlapping events, or well, we are going to detect the overlapping events. And to do that, we are going to iterate backwards. And alt event start, alt event props. Basically, we are getting like the key and value of the element of the map. And alt event end would be alt event props first. I think that we can use this alt event books as abbreviatory for bookings. And then if the alt event end is less than the start of the new event that we're going to insert, then we can stop the search, because then the events are not overlapping anymore. Then we need to check the alt event booking times, because if this is already equal to 1, we cannot book this event, because we have an event that, or we have our overlapping interval that has already 2 bookings. For that reason, in this case, it will be possible equal to false, and then we're going to use a break. Then we can add, if we reach this point, we can add the event to the overlapping events. Then if we reach the beginning of the calendar, then we cannot continue. We should break. And then, okay. Then if it's possible to insert this new event to the calendar, then we should reverse the overlapping events vector, because they are like appended in the reverse order. And also it's required for our helper method that will update the calendar to have this sorted properly. And then if the overlapping events vector is not empty, we can perform an update of the calendar. And if not, we can already append the event to the calendar, because if there is no overlapping event, then we can already add the event. without problems. Okay. Then we can already return, yeah, we are already returning if it's possible or not. Okay, let's solve the bugs now. Okay, we have MP. Sorry. Okay, let's test with this case. This case is 1020. Let's see the answer. True, true, true. False, true, true. Okay, it looks correct. I have tried to make the explanation as much clear as possible. I also need to clarify that the editorial solution is more simpler, but the advantage that we can get is that in some cases we can perform faster, because this includes some optimizations from the, let's say, CPU side, because from the memory side it is a bit heavy. Okay, then we have an error here. Okay, let's see, because I have already sent the same thing, but let's see what could be happening. Yeah, I have detected the error. This needs to be in the other way around, because yeah, I have at the end, with this logic, we are ensuring that we cover the new event interval by complete. But we need to be sure that we get the intervals intercepts for the old events in a granular way. Let's fix it. Yeah, here. Okay. Even. I mistyped. Okay. Yes, now it's correct. Then let's submit. Okay. yes, you can see that we are like very good in runtime, but not so good in memory. Okay, I hope that my explanation was clear. If you have some question, just let me know. Thank you.